Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing out there today? Oh my goodness. Crazy day, crazy day. Some people, I've already had some members already reach out to me and saying, hey, isn't this show normally at 5 o'clock? So yeah, normally it is. And now I'm talking Eastern. They had to talk the right.
Yeah, that was me. I was the one who was reaching out to you going, hey, what the heck? No.
No, it wasn't.
I'm very excited because when we shift the time so that our guest can meet with us, that usually ends up in a very good show.
Yeah, it usually does. That's true.
Yeah. They're worth the wait.
Experience has been that way, hasn't it? Yes, absolutely.
It has been.
Hey, thanks
thank
everybody.
You everyone who's joining. Yeah.
Thanks everybody who's joining. And also remember, tinkeringwithtech.net, if you want to learn a little bit more about us, talks about who we are, what we are, and everything. I'm excited. This is another product expert. People know that I'm a Google product expert out there. And what we do is we help people out on the forums and stuff for Google. And this product expert I met years ago, and can't wait to go over, because I started out as a Hangouts product expert, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this product expert has too. And he's talking to us about Hangouts versus Google Chat. Okay, so without further ado, let's get right to it, huh? How about it? Craig.
Yeah, what's his name?
Elliot. Craig Elliot. How are you, sir?
Hello, Craig. Welcome.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Say hello to everybody out there.
Hi, everyone.
There you go.
Hey,
all right,
hey.
Craig. So here we go. We already had a couple people. She put it up on screen. Everybody tell us where you are, where you're from, even state, city, whatever. And Craig, meanwhile, you tell us, where are you located, but where are you from? Talk to us a little bit about that.
I'm currently located in Nashville, Tennessee, but I'm originally from Cape Town, South Africa.
That is so awesome.
And I've been here for 22 years now.
That is so awesome. I think that's so cool. Portland, Oregon. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And Portland, the ice cream.
Look.
We got Andrew there.
That's Andrew. Craig, the
ice cream man.
I've got something to share.
Yeah, that's right. All right, Andrew, here you go. I'm gonna do it right now, Andrew. I'm bringing it up on screen so you can see. I had to do this. There he is. That's when we met Craig. That's what he always looked like, right there. Also, right there by the ice cream truck.
Now, I don't want to do product placement or anything like that, but
oh, look, I love it.
Oh, look at there. There you go. Oh. Is that what you just had before you came in?
That's what I had today. Yes.
No way. That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We need to end the show now.
I know. That's what I knew Heather would say that. She's like, okay, I'm done.
I'm done. All right. Let's see. Where's
it?
So. Exactly. Richard's from Canada. I mean, California. Phil's from the land of tater tots.
Mm-hmm.
We got Norbert from New Mexico.
Wow,
Jules
cool.
in Great Britain.
Roz.
Wow. Down under.
South Australia. So we got a wide variety of crowd there from all over around the world. It's really quite cool. It's awesome to see this. Up Niagara Falls. There you go. And that is the Canada side, not. He likes to make that very clear to us. I'm practically in Buffalo. What are you talking about? Mike's pretty funny that way. I love that. But anyway, thank you and welcome everybody to the show. Today, we're going to chat. We're going to talk about Hangouts and kind of the move to chat. But also G Suite has chat right now that they're using. So that's what they use for their messaging. And Lord knows Google has been through some messaging, huh, Craig?
Yeah, it's like every few months you'll find a new messaging app out there. And,
That's true.
It gets rather frustrating for some people.
It does, for sure. Because you're trying to, I know a long time ago, I tried to convince people to move over to Hangouts, but you had to have a Google account and all this kind of stuff. And I said, just check it out. Just try it. Let's communicate with that. And that was the original. It's been not original. There's actually a chat before that, but
that's right. There was
G Chat or something.
G Chat, which was Google Chat, which is what we've actually gone all the way back around to.
Kind of crazy, but so yeah, talk about it a little bit. Let's get into it a little bit. Let's talk about.
Well, as you know, Hangouts has been around for a while now, and then they decided to start the G Suite, the enterprise version of Google, pushing into enterprise. Started with schools, going to businesses. So you got your commercial interest, and of course, commercial is money. They get. People pay a monthly fee, and Google gets money from that, and that helps drive the consumer side of things as well. Because any changes that occur on the commercial side eventually trickle down to the consumer side. And there are some nice features that may come to Hangouts in the future.
For sure.
Yeah. Classic Hangouts, which is Hangouts as we all know it.
Hangouts.google.com, basically.
Exactly.
Is the way to get there, yeah.
It's now Classic Hangouts, and Google Chat is the G Suite Chat.
Right.
But they've changed it to Google Chat because obviously it's coming to the consumer.
Yeah.
Which means Classic Hangouts is going away from the consumer.
Yeah, because didn't they, if I'm not mistaken, correct me, Craig, wasn't it Hangouts Chat? And then they changed it to Google Chat for that exact reason, right? I mean, that's kind
correct.
Yeah.
Because people were getting confused, which obviously everybody was getting confused.
It's almost confusing to even explain it when you do know it. Am I
Classic
right?
Coke and Classic Hangouts. Yes,
Yes.
Paul, that is about right.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the difference is people actually want Classic Coke.
Yeah.
And it's come back, but Classic Hangouts is going to go away, and it's not going to come back.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of people are going to be upset about that, but a lot of people are not.
So I have a question about Google Chat.
Okay.
Will I be able to video connect with my friends, or is that all video is going away? All connection like that is going away?
That's called Google Meet.
Okay, so it's a totally separate thing, though.
Meet, what they did is, in the beginning, way back when, Hangouts could do video, audio, and phone calls.
And SMS in the
phone
beginning.
Calls and SMS, yes.
Yeah.
It could even use your carrier number for SMS.
Right.
Yep. And they took that away. And remember Hangouts on Air?
Yes.
I do. Yeah.
What you would be doing right now, actually. So when they decided to go commercial, they needed two products. They couldn't have one product to do everything. Especially since commercial enterprises don't always want chat, they just want video. They don't want it all combined in the same product.
Right.
Obviously, it depends. Some places do, but a lot of them didn't. So they've got Google Meet, which is going to be doing all your video. And then Google Chat will be just for messaging. But you will be able to tie into Google Meet from Chat to start a video call. It will open up Google Meet, though. It will not be Google Chat.
Right. Two separate entities. They split them up.
All right.
Hangouts extension does work in Chrome, but remember, Google Chat is not Hangouts. So that should answer your question.
Yeah, basically, if Hangouts goes away, if Hangouts goes away, there's no extension anymore. Basically.
But Chrome has done away with all their apps, and extensions are slowly, they'll probably stay around for a while, but apps have gone away and they've gone to the progressive web app, the PWA. Chat is a PWA. So it still needs Chrome running. It's like Hangouts extension, but it's actually just a floating tab that will be around. And
so it's just going to be like kind of like the Hangout extension is now. It's just floating out there.
Correct. And you can start the Hangouts chat on its own, but in the background it'll open up Chrome.
Okay, I got you. So you're talking about chat or Hangouts?
This is chat.
Chat. Yeah, chat. Okay.
Yeah, Google Chat. Sorry, you'll start Google. You see, even I get confused.
No, I know. 100%. That's why I wanted to just clarify and make sure that we understand that. Yeah.
So there won't be an extension, but there will be a PWA.
Gotcha. Which that's confusing in itself, I think, sometimes, because it kind of does the same thing of what an extension does. Kind of.
Yes, it's just different code.
Right.
And even as the extension is a lot of JavaScript, and it's all tied into Chrome. The PWA is also tied into Chrome, but they've used a different.
Jim Gould, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it is 7/8. It is the date. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. They always get
cool.
They get the amount of the date. I think that's kind of neat that they do that. But anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead. You were saying?
I've forgotten.
That's okay. So instead of Java, like what extension?
The PWAs are now they're less intensive as the extensions. The extension caused a lot of problems with certain operating systems, certain other extensions. There were resource contention. So people would complain that their CPU is going wild. The PWAs should not have that issue.
I got you. Okay. So it's just a different, I'm sorry, Heather, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, it's just a different technique. It's a different back end, that's all.
Okay.
But it does the similar thing.
Gotcha.
I was saying
I use the Hangout extension app from extension for one address, but use the chats in another in the little individual chat boxes at the bottom.
So you're talking about in Gmail.
Oh.
Basically, when you open up chat Hangouts in Gmail, which chat is going to be available in Gmail. It already is for G Suite.
Mm-hmm.
When you open up your Hangout in Gmail, it opens up the little frames at the bottom of your screen.
Mm-hmm.
And when you open up the extension, you can sign in with a different account, potentially. With a PWA, you can sign in with different accounts. You can switch between accounts. You cannot have the same account open at the same. Well, that's not right. You can have the same account open at the same time. They may change that. I don't know.
Because it seems like that would be confusing, huh? I mean, that could be.
Well, yeah. The problem with PWA at the moment is that when you switch accounts, it opens a new tab in Chrome.
Oh, I see.
So you'll have your PWA floating window, and you'll have a tab open in Chrome with the other account.
I got you. Interesting.
And yes, there is a mobile app for chat, and it works really well.
That I have to say.
And you can switch accounts in the mobile app really easily. So that's one thing they've done well.
That's interesting because I have not been able to do that. I can get one to show up, but I can't get the other. But that's something I can talk to you about personally or whatever. Maybe you can help me out with or something individually. I don't want to sit here and dwell on that. But no, that's interesting. Okay, so tell me obviously there's a reason they're going to this chat versus the regular Hangouts. There's obviously a reason for the move and the change and all that kind of stuff. What do you see as a huge difference, or maybe even something better about the new chat versus Hangouts, if there is anything?
The new chat is designed and built using newer technology.
Makes sense.
They've incorporated aspects into the new chat that they couldn't put into Classic Hangouts.
Okay.
Classic Hangouts has got a lot of old legacy
technology
crap still hanging around inside it. And it's difficult to fix a lot of the issues, like contacts. I mean, it's just crazy.
Right.
The way contacts work in Classic Hangouts, it irritates a lot of people. It irritates me.
No doubt.
I mean,
oh, Phil, you crack me up, Phil.
GChat. If you had G Suite, yeah, you'd see that. Is the new chat RCS? No, it's not. But RCS is for SMS. Chat is not an SMS client.
Right, not tied to a phone number.
Yeah, it's a conversation tool. Right. So anything, you can add images, you can do your GIFs, you can do your emojis. It's all in there, but it's a standalone non-RCS client.
Right.
So what would be the use of, or the reason, I guess, for using that over something like Duo?
Duo is tied to your phone number.
Okay.
Like WhatsApp. It's really an SMS tool, if you think about it. It does messaging, but it's tied to your phone number, and it goes to a phone number or another account. Whereas chat is it's really just a messaging tool.
It's just a standalone messaging app is all it is. Standalone messaging app.
And what's it tied to? Your email or your Google account?
It's your Google account. Everything is tied to your Google account.
Okay. So how would somebody find you on chat?
The same way they do on Hangouts. Your email address, phone number, whatever you've made publicly available to them. Now, how you invite people to chat, that I can't say right now because I don't know.
Right.
The consumer version hasn't.
It's still behind. It's still behind a user wall, right? Like, I mean, we don't all have it yet.
Well, no, it is. It's for commercial customers only, and commercial customers have a phone directory. They'll have an Active Directory structure. They can tie that into G Suite, and that populates all their contacts.
Right. So that makes sense.
Your corporate or school contact list is already there. You just search for someone and it's there. How you add someone new, I don't know how they're going to incorporate that yet because we don't have the product. Right.
Yeah. So on the consumer side,
on the consumer side, it doesn't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right.
So that's still an unknown for us.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Hopefully it'll become known soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they're going to make the change, let's just get to it and all that kind of stuff. It's kind of
it's time to.
I know it's more than just that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know. There's a lot to that and stuff, and it's just that they just don't want to make a big jump like that.
Correct.
That's a good one. Well,
Google Voice is a different product.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say it's unrelated, but yes, Google Voice does have SMS, and it will always have SMS for now that we know of.
But it's not Hangouts, right?
It's not Hangouts. It's not related to Hangouts at all.
Yeah, Google Voice isn't related to Hangouts at all. So that's a whole different entity, a whole different messaging, basically. I mean, SMS.
I mean, if you use Google Voice or Google Fi with Hangouts today, with Classic Hangouts, I strongly suggest or recommend that you move to using the Google Voice app or messaging app for Google Fi.
Interesting.
It's a suggestion based on nothing.
Gotcha.
The vast knowledge of Craig and his.
I would just say do it because if you hold off, you just hurting yourself, really, nobody else. Get used to using the native applications for the apps.
I've been a holdout on Hangouts. I've been a holdout on Hangouts because there are a few conversations that only happen there, and that's going to be a hard pill to swallow when that disappears.
But that would be a Hangouts conversation. That's not a Google Voice or a Google Fi conversation, because that would all be through SMS.
It could be, but it's not. We do everything via video and text messaging within Hangouts. And
when you say text messaging, do you mean SMS or do you mean messages?
No, I mean messages. I mean
okay, so it's just messages.
And then we video, too on there. So
that's fine.
We either have to switch to Duo, which neither of the other two people will.
Why would you want to do that? You can use Hangouts. Classic Hangouts is here still. It's not going away tomorrow.
Right, but she's saying when it is gone, though. When it is gone.
when it is gone.
Well, then you use
that
Google
conversation
Chat.
will be gone. Yeah.
Chat.
Just use chat. It'll just switch over, or we hope.
We hope. I don't know if your
take a coin, flip it.
I don't know if the current conversations that you have will be migrated over to Google Chat.
Yeah.
That'll be an interesting conversation.
If you want to keep
come back?
if you want to keep your Hangouts conversations and group chats, I suggest you use Google Takeout and get an export of them. If they're important to you.
Which is a mess. I would even suggest even over that, be honest with you, because I've had this conversation because I had a person that was taking out their using takeout. It was a mess. It was there's just no organization to it. It's all CSV files and it's just because you just.
It is. It's a dump of your data. That's really what it is.
It is exactly.
Yeah.
So I suggest to go to Gmail, select just chat only, and copy and paste that. If you have a particular person's name, just put their name in. This is for chat only, and just start taking that out. That's full conversation.
But I would start doing that before they get rid of it.
Exactly.
Once they get rid of it, we don't know if that history is going to go away.
Exactly.
So this leads to Jolin's question.
Okay.
But all Hangouts conversations are saved in chats in my Gmail, so will that change? So you guys are just talking about that.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
We don't know. We
don't know if those conversations are going to migrate over to chat, to Google Chat, or if you're going to keep them in Gmail as history.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they won't just automatically delete them. I'm hoping they would just leave your history as it is. But anything new will no longer appear there.
Right. I would hope.
Because Google Chat doesn't have conversation history in Gmail currently.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they implement that for the future, I don't know. It would be nice if they did that, but again, it's not something we know.
Right. Now, one thing that you can't. I know.
No, we really don't know.
One thing you can do, I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, in the new chat that you can't do in Hangouts. One thing I think you can edit your post. Is that right? You can edit your post. You can also delete your post, your personal post that you made, right?
And you can search for a post.
And you can search for a specific, and you can't do that in the regular Hangouts.
No.
Like you can here. It's very robust that way. You can attach files, photos, etc., all those kind of things. You can add all that in there. You can mention someone that you can't do in Hangouts. Does it have read receipt? Does it have read receipt or no? Or
no, it does
not. No, it doesn't have that.
It does not have that. Though some of the G Suite customers, I believe, have asked for that, so it may come. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly, and it's fairly new for them too. So go ahead, Heather. You got something?
Well, can you guys have Google Chat now, and you can look in your Gmail for the history of those chats like we can with our Hangouts,
No.
or you cannot?
It is not
Oh,
tied
okay.
to.
It's not tied yet.
Not tied to that
Maybe.
at the moment.
Right.
We don't know if it ever
And we
will
don't
be.
know that it will.
Yeah, we don't know
Right.
that it will.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get through it too. I'm feeling
Mhm.
like this is Donna. This is from Donna. Very confusing. I
Well, it's
totally
Google.
agree, my friend.
It's
But
Google.
the good news is we have some experts who are fiddling around with it and are able to help us move through this transaction. So I am grateful that we're here having this conversation ahead of time. And that's why I said, and you'll come back, right, Craig, when we have this conversation again after we're all forced to go to it. Right, Craig? Right, Craig?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. I'll have ice cream, I promise.
Oh, good.
Wow. Oh, God.
I gotta say this though. I gotta say this.
Promise.
Hey, no, I will. I'll get it all the way to Tennessee even. I gotta bring this up because it's been a while, Dave. It's been a while. The first comment, hi Heather. Second
That's
one, hi Michael. Such a smart man. Such a smart man.
Waiting
All right,
for-
so let's see here. Chris says, does everyone here have a G Suite account? I don't. I don't either at the moment. I'm actually getting one. But
Yeah, I don't either.
At the moment, I don't.
No,
I don't either.
I don't have one.
But anyone that invites you that has a G Suite account, they can invite outsiders, which is how Craig and I have access to some of these things, because that's one thing that's pretty cool about these G Suite users. They're able to bring us in and let us see and visualize and do all those kind of things. So that's kind of how we've been testing it as Hangouts products experts, chat product experts.
So Phil has an interesting point, and I kind of want to get. Whoops, I clicked the wrong one. As much as I hate Facebook, Messenger is simple and does everything that Google needs 3 apps for. It frustrates me that Google just doesn't understand its users. Now, I will say this before you guys answer this or talk about it. I think it does understand its users. It's just focusing on the commercial side, which is the paid for version, and it is providing what those companies have asked for. And that's why they're in separate. Yep. That's why they're separate. So it does understand its users. They're just not you and I freebie users.
Correct. Facebook Messenger is okay. I don't use Facebook Messenger. I don't send people messages on Facebook unless I really have to.
Either. Yeah, same here.
And it's
and that's prerogative.
And that's
what
per
people
user.
enjoy. I mean, that's each user. I mean, I know people that they use it religiously. If I want to get a hold of them, that's the only way I can get a hold of them.
And that's the only reason I would pick it up every now and again and use it.
Yeah.
For certain people that I have to get in contact with, only use that app. And
exactly. And I think it's the same way with whichever one it is, because there's several people who will only use Hangouts to contact me because that's where I am. And it is going to be heartbreaking when it goes away because I don't know how to contact people, but whatever. So Andrew says, plan on it not being there. Then if it is, you are ahead of the game. Okay.
Yeah.
And then a lot of responses to Chris's question about not having G Suite.
Yeah.
And she actually likes Facebook Messenger.
Yeah.
And Phil does not have one, and most likely will not have one. And I hope they don't orphan Gmail. Yeah, right?
Why would they orphan Gmail?
They won't.
It's Google. You never know what they're going to do. Right. My product.
Well, I shouldn't say that, but
has moved over to chat.
Knocking on wood, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, Chris, you're familiar with it that way. Sure, they have to make a profit. They have to compete with Microsoft. There you go.
Yeah, and Chris says that's her SMS app on her phone is Facebook Messenger. And I know a few people who treat it that way too. Yeah. I have G Suite. This is from Eileen. I have G Suite, but I don't want to use it for chat. I use it for email marketing.
That's interesting.
Good point.
That is interesting. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the new Facebook Messenger from Richard. And I don't have one either. As for Facebook Messenger, it's functionally okay, but I hate the colors, typeface, and layout. Is there anything you like about it, Andrew? Oh, they have ice cream emojis. Just saying.
I know all of those, so we're good.
They're good.
Yeah, look, there are many messaging apps out there, and you know what would be really great is if you could communicate with anybody,
be amazing,
regardless
It'd be
of which
amazing.
app they use. Will they ever do
That would be nice.
Probably not. No. Just
Because
for
there's no
security
benefit.
reasons. Well, and security reasons too, not just benefit.
No, you can encrypt it. You can have an encryption layer that's shared between all of them. It doesn't matter.
Really?
Yeah. Once it's
So
encrypted,
you know better on that better than I do. So
yeah, once your message is encrypted, if you encrypt it from the client to client, so when Heather chats to Michael via
whichever app,
it should be encrypted, and it can go down the stream and get to the other side encrypted and be decrypted. That doesn't matter. That's universal. Encryption is universal.
Interesting.
The companies won't do it because there's no benefit to them to do that.
Yeah, they want everybody on their app.
Correct. Because they want your data. They want you.
Yeah.
They want you engaged in their app doing their thing.
Yeah.
So I don't see that ever happening, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it would be great if it did. Because you've got iPhone users that use a completely different app.
Very true.
Absolutely. Absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah. It changes.
So I guess I was just gonna say, I guess the bottom line is, for me, I think one question I'd like to ask the audience is, what do you like to use to communicate? What is it that you prefer, whether it be something old or something new or something you're learning to use? Norbert is asking here, does anyone use Slack?
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother one. That's a whole nother one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a whole different one too. I know a lot of businesses.
There's a lot of ways. Yeah,
there's a lot of
communication tools out there. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ways.
There's just too much.
Yes.
Too many. And eventually it's going to have to end at some point. You're going to have to get
So it makes sense that Google's changing a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes
even
sense.
Google, I mean, you can't keep producing these chat apps and expect people to want to use them.
Yeah.
When everybody else is doing a different thing.
Yes, exactly.
Eventually, it's going to have to come down to something that everybody uses.
Yeah.
And
here, Chris, I like what Chris said. She's using Google Photo sharing. That's her communication.
That's her communication. I love it.
That's her communication.
That's a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one. I like it. I think it's a great way to share images and still have a conversation with people about those images. It is really cool. You can do other communication there, but it doesn't seem to make sense to me.
A picture is 1,000 words, something
there you go.
Yeah.
So why do you need words with your picture?
You don't necessarily.
And people know. I mean, when I share a picture of an ice cream, everybody knows that's ice cream.
Exactly. But have you learned anything yet? I would still use words.
There you go, right there.
Like that.
There
you
go.
That's my first words would be, "Where's mine?" I think we could have this conversation all day long, but we really can't do that. We got to leave some
other
members to meet with them.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to go back into backstage with some of the community members. Any of you folks, any of you folks that can join in, that'd be amazing. Anybody that wants to, community members. Remember, we're tinkering with tech.net. Craig, you're going to come in and join us for just a little bit anyway. That'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much for being a guest today. That is very informative, and I learned just a little bit. Just a little bit. No, I mean I'm in it. I'm in it all the time and all this kind of stuff, but it does tend to get confusing. And I know you know a little deeper dive than that. And that's why I appreciate you coming on and being a guest, kind of explain and show some of the folks out there. Community members, we'd love to have you join us in the backstage pass, I should say. In the backstage pass, it'd be really cool for you to come on in, and Craig will come in and join us for just a little bit. Heather, thank you. I'm going to end this so we can end the broadcast. Craig, stick around here after it's over or whatever in here, and we'll get you the link and all that kind of stuff and get you over where you need to go. Thank you, everyone that showed up. Heather, any comments that we need to put up or anything that's pertaining to whatever?
Yeah, I'm gonna put this last one up there.
Yeah,
Eileen, who's a community member, says send us the link on Google Chat.
I don't think that's possible. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it's going to Hangouts, y'all. It's going to Hangouts. I'm a holdout.
That's right. But again, thank you again. We really do appreciate it. I know you made we made a special time and everything to accommodate you just so you could come on, but I knew you'd be a good one to have on. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys. Bye all.